Okay, so we need to talk about Syril Karn from Andor. Spoilers for season 1 and 2 of Andor. So, in season 1, Cyril was kind of, he was the character that kick-started the story, essentially. He was the foil to Andor. He believed in the Empire, and he was very about justice. And he wanted to do his job and get justice for the patrolmen that were killed, where Andor is very much looking out for him and his family and just wants to do anything to survive. So in season 1, he is just the person who kickstarts the story. He gets Deandra involved indirectly, but he gets her involved by bringing attention to what's going on with Andor. Like, if he didn't exist, the story in Andor wouldn't have happened, because the Empire wouldn't have noticed and nothing would have happened. But he kind of falls off near the end of season 1 of it's more of his life gets destroyed by him going after Andor, and he tries to kind of claw his way back up and do what he can to help get Andor captured. And in season 2, I kind of felt like, all right, his story was kind of done. Like, he ends up with Deandra at the end. But it's like, okay, his story's kind of done. And then we get the episode with his mother. And I think, like, oh god, are we really going into the story again of, like, we get it. His mother is controlling. And that scene was more of to show that Deirdre is also very controlling. And it's kind of like he swapped out his mother for Deirdre. But then it's kind of he's still after Andor. He still wants to get the rebels and do this, but he's kind of pushed to the side. And then he gets involved in the Gorham plot and like kind of finding the rebels and helping the rebels a little bit. But then we get to the Gorham massacre, and it makes Cyril, in my mind, go from a good character to an awesome character, because he realizes that he has been helping the Empire build up the rebellion on Gorham so that the Empire can then use it to take over Gorham and take what they want. And he kind of has a moment where like his conscience gets to him, and he goes, like, internally, he doesn't really say it, but you see it. He goes, this isn't justice. His character has very much always been, I want justice. That has been his driving character motivation. And during the Gorham massacre, like, he's out in the plaza, he's seen it all go down. He's seen Deidre, like, what she's done, and you get this moment of, like, okay, he's gonna do something about it. Because that is very Star Wars, and that is very, like, what a lot of people have said they don't like about Star Wars, is everyone is like, I am gonna be the hero, and I'm gonna do everything I can. But then we get a very human moment of he sees Andor. The man who destroyed his life. Everything that has happened over the past 4 years in his life, everything that has gone wrong, has all been because of Andor. Like, he was the reason that he got fired from security. He's the reason that he had to claw his way back up. Andor is the reason he had to claw his way back up throughout the ISB. And it's the reason that everything has happened in Cyril's mind is because of Andor. And he has an extremely human reaction and just attacks Andor and just starts beating the crap out of him and gets into a fight. And it has nothing to do with anything that's going on. It is just, he has the pure human reaction of everything that has gone wrong is your fault, and I'm gonna hit you for it. And then it gets to the point where he has the upper hand on Andor, and he is yelling at him, and Andor just looks at him and goes, who are you? And it just, you could see it break Cyril. Over the past 4 years, his whole life has been getting Andor and capturing him. And Andor has no idea who he is. I think they've only interacted directly once in the entire show. And you just see it break Cyril of, like, he has dedicated his life to this, and this person doesn't even know who I am. And like it kind of wraps up his whole story of his mother was very controlling of telling him what to do. Deidre was very controlling and telling him what to do. And the one thing that he thought was he was there for and he was important about. And it doesn't even matter to the person that he was chasing. He's just another guy to Andor who is attacking him. And in my mind, that is like with Game of Thrones, that is what was perfect. It was very human moments of, as you get into the later seasons of Game of Thrones, it gets a little more ridiculous and like it's more plot armor and storylines and everything, but there were very human moments of like, just this is what would happen. No one's coming to save the day. No, like your life in the grand scheme of things really didn't matter that much. You kickstarted something, but after that, you didn't matter as much as you thought you did. And it is a very human moment, and it is why I love Andor. Because there were plenty of moments like that throughout the show of like all these characters are like, yeah, you're building up to do something, and then you hit this point and you realize you're just people. Like, you're not Jedi going out there like, oh, we're gonna, scrape away at the skin of our teeth and, get this done. And, you're not this big hero. You are just a person in the universe. And it's kind of, his character went from being an, okay, like, yeah, he's the Boy Scout, like, justice over everything type of character, to he is what everyone has complained that they want in Star Wars, is a human character. Like, it's why, like, Andor, and in season 2, Andor is getting a little bit more of that plot armor kind of stuff, but Cyril is very much that human character. He has his motivation, he fucks it up, and just it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Him fucking up was the most important thing that he did. After that, anyone could have done what he did. Like, every choice he made could have been done by someone else. He didn't matter. He was just a person in the story, and that's all he needed to be. So, like, that's why Cyril went from kind of a character I really didn't care about to like, okay, he is like one of the best characters in this entire show. So if you agree with me, let me know in the comments. I know we're coming up to the last 3 episodes of the show. It's going to lead up to Rogue One. I am planning on doing a whole video on Rogue One and Andor and kind of how they mesh together and everything. But yeah, if you didn't like Cyril, but after the last 3 episode arc, if you like Cyril a lot better, let me know. If your opinion on Cyril didn't change at all, and you always thought he was great, or you still think he's a terrible character, let me know. But thanks for watching. See ya.